So the District 2 seat on the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, Herb Wesson Jr., the longtime president of the LA County City Council, versus Holly Mitchell, a progressive mainstay of the California State Senate. District 2 is home to Black and Latinx communities, the seat representing around 2 million constituents apiece, and overseeing an overgrowing $36.8 billion budget for a county government apparatus that includes health and human services, parks and recreation, public works, and law enforcement, the DA's probation department, and the LA County Sheriff's Department. So this is also a very important vote, because in the case of Andres Guardado, who was shot by a sheriff in Los Angeles, where the rules between the sheriffs and LAPD are different. The body cams procedures are very different. We need to really care who's overseeing this department, along with all the other stuff that we talked about. But you need to know who is using and budgeting and appropriating the funds that affect your communities. And that is why it is important to vote for these people. I would love to hear from you both. So.
Yeah, this isn't like a race that I necessarily knew a ton about or was following, but based on her voting record, it's pretty solidly progressive. Again, you can follow who's actually funding these campaigns. As you were pointing out, the police unions have definitely weighed in. So yeah, it's not something that I've been super personally invested in, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. As we've been saying throughout this, it does have a very strong impact on the day-to-day lives of millions of people in this case.
Yeah, the LA Sheriff's Department really affects our communities, and this particular community, District 2, that is predominantly Black and Latin. We have we have this turbulent ride that we've been on with law enforcement, because law enforcement was designed, to track us and kill us, eliminate us, incarcerate us. So I think it's very important. Julissa, I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add about why this is critically important too is because there are a lot of unincorporated areas in the Los Angeles area, right? So when you were brought up Andres Guardado, the reason it kind of also fell in this sort of like no man's land in terms of who would be responsible for creating accountability, is because the area in Gardena where he was shot is an unincorporated area of Gardena. And so the supervisors are really the people who ultimately become accountable for these things. And so to your point, it is incredibly important. And my vote went to Holly Mitchell.